Hello world! Frida Darcy and Patricia O'Connor here today on the Bonsai Balcony. Look at those colors. Look at those colors. We went from waiting and waiting and waiting on these guys to do their beautimous thing to now it looks like we are almost ready to go. And by almost ready to go, I mean this last little bit of green that's still hanging in there, I will give it time because I've got some other things going on right now also. This is my last day with my Ponderosa. It is going to Peter T's garden mañana, tomorrow, and it will hang out there until February. So yeah, that's what's going on. That's what's going on there. Now as far as these guys, because there's 3 of them. When the rest of this foliage turns that color, which is mostly orange and red now, it's just beautiful, I think. Then I can defoliate it, and then I will go through and select limbs that started sprouting last year, those that we will keep, and I will cut them back. And those that we decided to keep last year and have already bifurcated out, I will cut back our secondary, making way for our next year's formation of tertiary. And then once I've cleared back some of the stuff, not all, but some of this, then I'm going to go in with our new, with some toys, some tools, and we're going to do a little bit of shaping work on those 3. I've been talking about this for quite some time, but it seems like it's taken forever for fall to finally get rolling here. As you can see on my cypress trees, they've been telling me that they're still photosynthesizing. They're still, the store's still open. So at that point, it's too early to go cutting back stuff that's still making food for the tree. So that just makes them, the more the better, I suppose. But we're almost at that end. I could get started anytime now, but I'm really enjoying the colors. Plus, it's time for me to start getting this guy ready to hit the road. And by hit the road, we're not really going to do much in the way of shipping. I'll load it into my little cart, and then I will take it downstairs via the elevator, and then it'll go in a hatchback where we will take it to Northern California for 3 months. And then I get to pick it back up, and it will have been overwintered, and we should be good to go until next year. That will free up this area of the balcony some, which I'm also kind of looking forward to. I like having this here, though. This is a great spot. It makes I just like seeing it there too. The part about opening this up, that will make it easier to get to both of these guys, it's time to start doing some things to this cork bark oak again here for long. I don't want to let any of those little shoots get out so long that they can grow out a little ways. So we've got some ground to make up on that tree, and it's an okay time to let it do that. But I can wait on this until we take care of this guy, and then somewhere in there we can go back in and start working on this. And now this is about as good a time as we are going to get, I believe, to start and do our work on our Trident Maple. So this is our last little. Well, this is not really a reprise. I'm going to have to do things to ready this tree today. Not really a whole lot, just logistical, boring stuff on my end. Get the cart out dig through the internet, make sure I've got all my addresses and all of my directions and all that good stuff in order so that we can necessitate this road trip. And yeah, other than that, I don't even have to water it today. We have been getting so much rain that I watered some yesterday, some not yesterday, and because they've been getting rained on. So that's kind of where we are there. Everybody is doing what I would say to be pretty good. I love the colors. In fact, the lights just went off a few minutes ago, and I reached over and did a little timer sheet. I flipped timer off, outlet on my timer. So now we're extending our daylight for as long as we're shooting this, just because I thought they looked really good in the light against the backdrop of our cloudy fall day. Pretty important stuff. Tonight, what we will do is I'll probably go in the kitchen and start a setup of the fluorescent lights. No, that would be kind of short. We'll probably bring in a tree and do something. Last night we did our soak of our 18 seed, our 18 little potted. So I've got as many Japanese black pine seeds soaking in here. That's my 18 seedling trays, seedling pots in one seedling tray. And it'll take some of this space out here that we're not using. There's a lot of it to be had. I could probably put another tray in and use up all of that space. But my little seedlings that we started, these are our little guys that we all started from seed. They seem to be doing very, very well. My other trees are starting to catch up on their overwater situation, and right now we are holding steady. Also, I guess I should mention, it's not real super noticeable, but this is a little brass ring with a string tied around it that hangs off and goes into a flower can that's a watering bucket that's sitting down there. When this tray gets so full of water that there's water standing in the substrate tray, like on rainy days and stuff, this will soak it up and the gravity will cause it to run down into that can. So that little trick will keep those little trees from standing in water, whether, when that tray fills up with water because it's rained or because I've just got through water and everything, and maybe it rained and it didn't have time to evaporate from there as fast as it did from there or whatever. That's a little hedge or bet. A little tree. I used to water trees that way, slowly but constantly, using cotton, like Nike high tops shoestrings, because they were a mile long. I mean, the Nike high top shoestrings are really, really long, and I would use them like little soaker hoses. So this is a wick system to try to wick away excess moisture from that drip tray, and oddly enough, that works. That has helped. So that's what's going on there. Our oaks are loving whatever. They just love all of this weather. They love it when it's cold. They keep going. These are my oaks are evergreens. Not all oaks are evergreens, but my oaks are a cork bark, which is an evergreen, and my California oak, which is an evergreen. And they just never stop doing stuff, and it's almost time to start clipping that back. So I'm looking forward to that, and I see little buds all over it where we've already clipped it back, and all of those little things are starting to sprout out. Very encouraging to see. feeding. That's what's that. Our pines are looking overall looking a whole lot better than I think I was on the cusp of letting everybody get a little too wet, a little too long a couple of weeks ago. I believe we've kind of pulled around the corner, pulled around the bend on that a little bit. So I'm a little happier with what's going on. And that's about what's going on. It's not a whole lot. It's not a whole lot to talk about, but there is a whole lot going on. Getting this guy down the road is going to be a day. Doing that is going to be exciting. Doing this again is going to be super exciting, and it's going to be a multiple porter. And this should be the last little bit of woodwork, like heavy woodwork, that we do on this compilation of cypress trees before it finishes, which will be a couple of years yet, of course. But there are some things that I want to take down so that I know that as the tree rolls over or something, it won't leave any unnatural shapes. That's kind of where I'm coming from. I'm looking at things with a couple of years into this, and I'm seeing stuff that looks cool one way when you see that amount of rollover, and you're like, yeah, when it's all done, is that still going to look like a square wedge, or is this going to look like it rolled over? You know, will I always be able to see this cut? Do I need to take it down? So that's the thinking there. So yeah, is the answer to some of that. Not a whole lot, but some. And what will make that easier is me go ahead and prune back all the stuff that we're not going to keep, which will make it easier to get in there and work. And to that end, I bought a little chainsaw at the end of the summer, hoping for an early fall so I would get to use it in a couple of weeks, and that seems like a year ago now. But it's on standby, and I also have a little grinding disc and that I can use for my impact gun, so I could actually go at that with a grinder. I also have a big router, a Makita router. I could probably put that on, but it's long, so that would probably be a little cumbersome. It's better just to go with my drill size impact wrench. I could use that as to grind down some edges or something with a little sanding wheel is kind of what I'm not saying. Anyway, like and subscribe if you guys have not already. Tonight we'll do something in the living room. We've got some pine trees that seeds that we're germinating so that they'll pop. They've got another 24 hours to go before I'll do anything with those. In the meanwhile, tonight I'll probably bring in some sort of pine tree and we'll do something with it. And yeah, thank you so much for watching.